Jorge Martin's comeback bid for the Qatar MotoGP is gaining momentum as the Spanish rider continues his recovery from a serious hand injury sustained during pre-season testing. His latest medical evaluation, conducted by Dr. Xavier Mir, has provided a clearer picture of his condition and the steps required for a potential return to competitive racing. Recent X-ray scans have shown promising signs of bone callus formation at the scaphoid fracture site, indicating steady progress in the healing process. The synthetic screws implanted during surgery remain well positioned and have not caused any complications, reinforcing confidence in the procedure's success. Clinically and radiologically, Martin's scaphoid, radius and pyramidal fractures have shown sufficient improvement to advance to the next stage of functional rehabilitation. However, his participation in the upcoming Qatar GP remains uncertain, as he will need to undergo a final medical assessment by MotoGP's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Charte, in the days leading up to the race. Determined to return to full fitness, Martin has intensified his training regimen with a particular focus on cycling and cardiovascular endurance. His social media updates from the mountainous terrain of Andorra offer glimpses into his physical recovery, underscoring his commitment to making a strong return. Despite the positive progress, the road back to MotoGP has been anything but smooth for Martin. His move from Ducati to Aprilia was already a challenging transition, and the injury setback during pre-season testing further complicated his adaptation to the new machine. Initially scheduled to start his campaign at the season opener in Thailand, he was forced to withdraw after suffering another injury during private testing. Aprilia has pushed for regulatory changes to allow injured riders to participate in official testing, but so far their proposals have met resistance. With the Qatar GP fast approaching, all eyes are now on Martin's final medical evaluation, which will ultimately determine whether he can make his long-awaited return to the grid. Marquez, who has experienced his own share of injury setbacks in MotoGP, weighed in on Jorge Martin's situation, acknowledging both the Spaniard's determination and the risks involved in an early return. He highlighted the complexity of scaphoid injuries, noting that while initial signs of healing may appear promising, the true test lies in withstanding the extreme forces experienced during a race. Marquez emphasized the importance of patience in the recovery process, as rushing back too soon could lead to complications or even a prolonged absence from competition. Drawing from his own struggles with injuries, he underscored the need for Martin to make a calculated decision, ensuring that his return to the grid does not come at the cost of long-term setbacks. Jorge Martin is expected to make his long-awaited return to MotoGP at the Qatar Grand Prix, marking his first race since being sidelined by multiple injuries earlier this season. The Spanish rider, who has been absent from the grid due to a series of unfortunate incidents, will rejoin Aprilia with a machine that has undergone further development in his absence. Since his last ride on the RSGP in November during the post-season test in Barcelona, Martin has had limited time aboard the Aprilia, managing only 90 laps before his injuries forced him to step away. During that test, he had the opportunity to evaluate both the 2024 RSGP and an early prototype of the 2025 model. However, his time with the new machine was cut short when he crashed on the first day of testing in Sepang, completing just 13 laps before sustaining fractures that ruled him out of the remainder of MotoGP pre-season preparations. Following further setbacks, including an additional injury that prevented him from racing in the Thai Grand Prix, Martin has been on the path to recovery. His most recent medical clearance on Wednesday has now positioned him for a potential return to competitive action at the Qatar GP, where he's set to make his long-awaited Aprilia debut. During his time away, Martin attended the America's Grand Prix weekend as part of a team-building exercise aimed at keeping him engaged with the team and up to speed with the ongoing developments of the RSGP. Aprilia's test rider, Lorenzo Savadori, who has been standing in for Martin since his absence began, has played a pivotal role in refining the bike's performance during this period. According to Savadori, the Aprilia engineers have worked to fine-tune the RSGP to better suit Martin's riding style. The changes implemented since Martin's last test have brought the bike closer to his specific demands, offering a more tailored experience when he finally gets back on track. Throughout the America's GP weekend, Martin was given extensive insights into these modifications, with engineers providing him with telemetry data and technical briefings. While being present at the circuit without being able to race was undoubtedly difficult for the reigning world champion. The experience was deemed essential for both him and the team, ensuring that he is as prepared as possible when he finally returns to competition. Savadori himself has been a crucial figure in Aprilia's development program, taking on an expanded role while Martin was sidelined. Under MotoGP's current concession rules, the Italian test rider is eligible to participate in up to 6 wildcard races this season, though his exact schedule remains uncertain. While expressing his love for racing, Savadori acknowledged that his future appearances would depend on the team's strategic plans and the needs of the manufacturer. Despite a setback of his own in Argentina, where he sustained an injury, Savadori has remained dedicated to his role, working closely with the Spanish team and Aprilia engineers, including Daniele Romagnoli. His contributions to the team's progress, alongside Martin's upcoming return, are expected to strengthen Aprilia's campaign as the season continues. As Jorge Martin gears up for his highly anticipated return at the Qatar GP, all eyes will be on how quickly he can adapt to the RSGP and regain his competitive edge. Will his recovery be enough to challenge the frontrunners, or will he need more time to fully unlock his potential on the Aprilia? Let us know in the comments what you think. Can Martin bounce back strong, or will this be a season of rebuilding for the Spanish rider? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest MotoGP action. From injury comebacks to fierce on-track battles, we've got you covered with the most exciting updates from the world of motorcycle racing. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment and join our community of passionate MotoGP fans.